broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
We could be in great song choice. Guys, welcome to the Flash After Show on AfterBuzz TV. It's not only our favorite day of this week, but of our season. It's a crossover episode, Legends of Today. And oh my god, I loved it. We've got the gang here, but also we're crossing over the AfterBuzz TV shows. So joining us from the Arrow show, as always, is Tauri. But on the couch, it's Katie Cullen.
Hi, all my buddies. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. It's Kiaxet.
I'm sorry, how do you pronounce that?
Kiaxet.
Oh, of course.
Because I'm pretentious, where I was when I picked it 10 years ago.
Fantastic. Let's do intros, then get into it. I'm Jeffrey Masters. I tweet from Jeff Masters1.
I'm Michael Andrew. You can find me on Twitter at Michael_Drew, Michael EAL.
I'm Tauri Miller. You can find me on Twitter at Tauri J. It's TauriJay.
And I'm Roxy Striar, and you guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. I feel like we're very clever with our crossover based on this crossover. I'm feeling trendy.
It's tradition at this point.
Yeah, I like it.
A little crossover going.
Yeah. And so what did everyone think of the episode on the whole? This, I guess, was like part 1.
Which means that there's going to be a whole lot of Arrow-only fans tomorrow night who are like, what happened?
Yeah.
Did we walk in the middle of a story? Yes, honey.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
I feel like we got the lucky end because now we have to finish it.
Yeah.
We're not coming at that end half. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say I'm kind of guilty of that because I've never watched Arrow, and I know that's blasphemous, but I've never really had the chance to really go binge watch crazy on my Netflix, so I haven't really partook in it. So there were so many moments where I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?" But it was interesting to me though. It was
Christmas break's coming up.
Yeah, it was interesting enough for me to make me want to jump into Arrow.
I'm so curious about your guys' perspective because I almost kind of felt bad. There was so much reference to Arrow tonight. It wasn't like last year's crossover where we kind of had some of the gang come in and then on their episode, some of our gang went there. This was a straight up 2-hour episode crossing over 2 nights. So I loved it. I'm a massive Arrow fan. I'm a huge Flash fan. There were some moments where I'm like, maybe different words or choices I would have picked, but overall I was super satisfied, and I cannot wait to see tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, I think maybe I would have been more so satisfied if I was an Arrow fan, if I watched Arrow, but I was still left partially satisfied. I mean, I was still very into it. It left me wanting to watch Arrow. I didn't feel lost at any point.
Right.
You know, I felt, maybe it's because I was next to Tauri and you, but I turned around like, oh wait, what happened? Oh, and it's like reading a comic book, because if you read comic books, there's always going to be a crossover event here or there, and more often than not, it makes you want to pick up the other stuff, or at least makes you want to Google them or read that Wikipedia.
At this point for comics, it's Wiki.
Yeah, Wiki.
real.
Right.
Pretty much.
And Wiki, yeah.
How many years of history do we... All right, how long is the Wiki page?
Yeah.
All right, Tauri, what'd you think?
I thought it was really interesting. I thought that, like, I felt like if I hadn't been watching Arrow, they gave enough backstory to everything that they had introduced for the most part in their opening sequence. I loved, I don't know about you guys, but I really loved all the character interactions, especially in the drink scene. Like, that to me was the best part.
Party time.
Oh yeah.
I kind of agree with something Katie said before we got in here, in that I like the back and forth talking, but it was kind of, they're very cheesy shows anyway, but it's like the cheese, there was a level of cheese where I was kind of like, where some of the lines missed me.
Yeah.
I feel like the Flash writers aren't quite on par with the Arrow characters, just because you're taking characters from a show with a very different tone that has gotten lighter this past season, and then throwing them into a show that has almost always been light with the occasional, oh my god, what happened to my feelings sort of episode.
Wait,
so there was a lot of dialogue that was just super cheesy. Like, this is why we ask questions.
Okay, hold on.
Thanks, Oliver.
You don't think that this was Arrow and Flash writers working together on both episodes?
If it was, I don't think the Arrow side of the dialogue was handled super well.
I just can't see them doing a two-parter crossover that's pretty much one episode that's 2 hours and not involving both writers' rooms.
I don't think it's that one was better than the other or that they're not on parts. That I don't know if they're necessarily on the same page all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And Arrow has gotten a little more campy and a little more fun, but it still is way grittier and darker. So when we bring them onto Flash, we're trying to appeal to Flash fans. So we kind of lighten them up, and so that's why things come out very strange from Oliver's mouth. Like, what did you do, Thea? And it's like,
This is why we ask questions. I'm stuck
That's
on
like
that
your
one
favorite,
because
yeah.
seriously, bro?
Well, I thought that was an Arrow reference. That has nothing to do with like anything he's ever said.
The best ridiculous in-joke they had was, well, Oliver can't be busy right now. No, if you watch Arrow, the city is falling apart at the seams, and they're basically at the threshold of hell.
Right.
Funny.
I
And
just thought
so,
Oliver was inquisitive. Like, oh, he must ask a lot of questions all the time. Huh?
no, he really doesn't. He doesn't. So it kind of was a little strange.
But he's a master interrogator, everyone.
true.
Is that his specialty?
Yes.
he
Yes.
shoots
Oh.
first, but makes sure they're still alive to ask questions later.
Okay, so let's get into the actual episode. And from the very beginning, Vandal Savage made his appearance from the boat.
He looks so badass.
He does
Like,
look
I
cool.
cannot even stare away from him. He's just, from the second I saw the first image of him, wow, when was that, months ago, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait till he comes on to the TV set, and now he's here, and he's everything I ever wanted him to be. Oh,
I
he's so
agree.
awesome.
He looks like a primo villain. Like,
Yeah.
he looks real. Like I was digging it. I really liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
the like
yeah.
the knife aspect. Yeah.
Was that good? Was
No,
it
it
good
was
animation?
can you do it again?
One for you and one for you. It's like Oprah, and you get a knife.
You get a knife.
Vandal, Oprah, very
Yeah.
different. Stand corrected.
But I'll take them all back later once you're dead.
Yeah.
Exactly. 'Cause he's been recovering his knives because all of his knives are centuries old.
They're vintage.
Yes.
I know that's true. Yeah. Every time he gets it, like, all right, take it right back. Okay. Peace.
But he was an awesome villain too that like I could definitely see stretching over an entire season, which they're planning to do for Legends of Tomorrow.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It piqued our interest enough. CW is so smart, and they know exactly, and not just CW, but obviously DC. They know what they're doing. They're like, okay, you guys think you're watching Arrow, you're not watching Flash? We're going to make you. And you're not watching these two shows, and you weren't planning on watching Legends. Haha, joke's on you.
Yeah.
This is Vandal. He's coming over here. You want to play with this toy? He's over here now. Come get him. Like, that's what they're doing, guys.
It was a perfect crossover in that there's just like it pretty much was like 3 shows. It's like a 3-show crossover technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna sprawl into 3 shows, and now I have to watch not just Flash. I have to watch Arrow, and I have to watch
And you
Legends
thought your
of Tomorrow.
Thursday
Legends of
nights
Tomorrow,
were
yes.
free. Not anymore.
And then they perfectly positioned that Legends of Tomorrow trailer to
Yeah.
show Vandal Savage and then all the superheroes we love, including Kendra Saunders and not Ant-Man,
Hawkman.
Atomic.
Hawkman.
Adam.
That'd be
Atomic
sick if
Atomic.
Low
Ant-Man
rent
came
Iron
back.
Man.
We'd have to get different rights.
Yeah, like what you said though, it was like a 3-show crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love also, because we are talking about Vandal, but seeing Hawk Girl and her come to her full, what do we even call that? Her full Hawk Girl
They said
Awakening.
Yes.
emerge. She has to emerge.
She emerged.
I do love that she didn't stick the landing. Like,
Yeah,
we
that was
weren't
nice.
going with absolutely perfect the first time. Like,
Right.
thank you. That makes her human.
But
Yeah,
I was also
totally.
I was a little confused with with their wings working. So it only pops up when they fly, but when they're on the ground, it sinks like right back into their body.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it doesn't rip the shirt.
Well, I'd like to imagine that they're mystic wings. Like they essentially appear out of air and then. Like in the same way that all magic does, it just kind of appears and then it disappears when you need it.
I believe
Oh.
the phrase is, it's magic, I don't have to explain it.
Yeah.
I buy that.
And while we're on the subject, I mean, like, we should get into it. She and Hawkman are mystic people, Cheara and Khufu. Is that from the comics, that backstory? Are they like
I mean,
Egyptian
They're
goddesses?
aliens in the comics.
And Hawk Girl and
In the
Hawkman
comics, they
being
are aliens,
together
that's true, yeah.
is absolutely backstory. I thought that, I don't know about the 2,000 years, that there have been different versions.
4,000.
4,000
Yeah.
years. And the 261 deaths or something. I think that's specific to this show, but I thought it was cool that it was some expository language, but I was happy to hear it. I wanted to know how they got here. I just feel so bad for Cisco.
I know. I was thinking about that too.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I will never be over the fact that his name is Khufu.
Yeah.
You can't move on.
There's a board game called Atmosphere where you play as horror icons, and it's Khufu the Mummy, and the way they introduce it is this Khufu the Mummy. Like, I can't get over it.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Kufu could have been like original name back then. It could have been like the Cisco of their time.
Well, he,
Oh my god.
That's
I
good.
didn't dislike him. I thought he was great. I needed him to stop being called Birdman because I was like, oh god, just get to Hawkman.
Yeah.
I really liked him, but Cisco, guys, he's our
I
Cisco.
know. He finally finds a girl. He finally finds a girl.
He still has Golden Glider, guys. I mean,
Does he?
she's hanging out in the wings.
Is that what you're pulling, Tari?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, but she's a
I feel like that's a danger ship.
Yeah.
Guys, not to like
Pirate
throw
ship.
shade, but I really don't feel like Cisco and Kendra are that great a couple. I just
Compatible?
don't compatible. I love them individually, but I don't see them meeting on the street and then being like, oh wait, we should definitely be soulmates.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how it happened. He saw her making coffee, and then he kicked a game
I
in her
guess I'm
direction.
saying-
If someone
like,
came
no-
up to me on the street that I didn't know and said, we should definitely be soulmates, I'm like, and out. So no, that's not how
Or it could be an intro to a
date
great romantic
someone.
comedy.
No, I'm not.
That's true.
I'm not
Oh,
saying,
God,
I'm not saying
no.
language. I'm saying the two actors. Like they're cast to have chemistry and fall in love, and I see that they have chemistry, but
Yeah.
I don't buy this gorgeous Sierra Renee like dating this like nerdy guy, Cisco. That's what I'm saying.
I do see what you're saying. I'm sorry, Tari,
No.
go ahead.
I mean, because he's also like a super genius.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and he's funny. And
I think he's really
charming.
cute.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, she's very attractive, but also, like, he's not. He's also attractive, and he's also smart. So I feel like
Yeah,
like
and
it
I'm not
works.
saying like, oh, like he's ugly, she's pretty. I'm saying like I envision him with like a Felicity type who's like nerdy, cute, and not like a model who I can see like walking the runway. Honestly,
I do
I
see what
think
you're
you
saying.
have very different standards of beauty, dude.
I see what you're saying, but I think that Kendra, that this is when Cisco really started falling for her, when she decided to cook the dinner and bring him in for that. I think he just never has been treated so sweetly before. Think about his relationship with Golden Glider. She comes in, she messes around with him, she leaves, like, it's not what it's like. So he says, I've never felt like this before. That doesn't necessarily mean, oh my god, I'm in love, we're so compatible. I just think it means like, I've never been paid attention to like this. This is new for me.
yeah.
And he has a
they're still
type.
at the point where they couldn't say boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's my friend whom I kiss sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Don't
she's
we
my
all have
beautiful
those?
friend. She kisses me on occasion.
Yeah.
Stopped asking me questions. Ridiculous.
So it's not like an automatic soulmates thing. They're still working through it.
I mean, I don't want to spend the entire show on it, but I'm not saying like soulmates. I'm just saying like I don't think she'd give him that much attention.
You feel like
Right.
she's more compatible with Hawkman after
Yes.
just seeing them for the couple seconds.
Yeah, who I was really impressed with. I think he had some like cheesy leaning lines. I thought his like delivery of them was really fantastic.
I agree. The Robin Hood line, swoon, totally.
The cheese
okay.
works better
Yeah.
on him than it does on Oliver.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what I felt bad about though. I wanted to hate him so I could be like, go Cisco, but I was like, ooh, they've been together for 4,000 years.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's-
bro. Like,
Yeah, totally.
But technically, you could also say that's a bad relationship because if we've been together for 40,000 years, or for
4,000.
4,000 years, and we keep dying and getting killed, Cisco said, well, clearly you didn't help her before. You guys keep dying.
Can you guys explain something to me? Because you guys are avid comic book readers, and I'm curious. So she's just come to town, but beforehand she said she grew up and had this whole life. So I don't understand. At what point did she die? Like, and how was she reincarnated? Was she reincarnated as a 20-something-year-old, or was she reincarnated?
I think she
Yeah.
was just born.
Reincarnated as a small
Yeah.
child.
So
She
she's
was born.
She's lived this whole life,
Right.
and what has Hawkman been doing?
He's also been dying and coming back to
Yeah.
life.
I think
No,
he
but
just found out he just emerged previously, just like she did, but he just probably emerged sooner.
What I'm saying
Right.
though is that they've been together for 4,000 years. What have they been doing for the last 20-something years? Has he been watching her? Has he been waiting for the moment, or is he also?
Oh,
been...
see, that didn't bother me because like just like she
it doesn't
didn't
bother
know.
me. I'm-
Oh yeah,
I'm
it
curious.
didn't strike me. I'm saying because like she didn't know she was Hawk Girl until like about 5 minutes ago. He maybe didn't know until like 7 minutes ago.
See,
Until he
this is
jumped
what
off a
I
building?
want to know, though, because that's exactly what I'm thinking. How did he find out if the quickest way to do it is, a long drop and a short stop? How did he figure this? Did he jump off a bridge or what?
Maybe
That's
he
either
tripped.
a bad
He tripped out a window.
accident or a bad day. So I don't know
a bad
exactly what
life.
happened there. Yeah. But I feel the chemistry there. I'll follow them.
Yeah. So then they take Kendra to Star City to protect him.
Because Star City is the safest place on the planet right now.
Yeah, weird move.
With sarcasm.
Well, they didn't know
Yeah,
is the
that's true.
thing. And how do you not know what's going on in your neighbor city with your friend, the other vigilante? Like, how do you not turn on the news and be like, oh, stuff's going down in Star City?
It's probably all over Twitter.
Well, good,
I think
yeah.
people are live tweeting, I just saw one of the ghosts. Hashtag lucky to live.
Well, and I like this episode so much because a lot of my quote-unquote problems or concerns with the show are how rushed it is always, and having 2 hours to tell one story felt really luxurious, and then other times it felt really rushed again, like, let's take them to Star City, and they were said, okay, sure.
Yeah,
It
well,
just
you
was
could
very sudden.
yeah, you could tell they want to get things moving. I mean, that bothered me too, but I felt like I understood it. They just wanted to just keep it pushing and get things started. Like, all right, we gotta go Star City. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Yeah.
I figured it was just.
And I have to say, though, as a non-Arrow watcher, it was a little bit weird for me to have Damien Dark having his appearance and then going away, and then Malcolm popping in and out each time.
I love
That
that,
was awesome.
so much,
Yeah.
both Damien and Malcolm, because Malcolm is known as the Magician. That was his name in the Assassin's Guild. So
Oh, really?
in the League of Assassins, rather. And so that makes sense for him to, enter a room like Mystical Kramer. And Damien Dark is a ball of terror and camp anyway. And so him just being like, what happened? It's like, yep, that is on the spot. I like that.
Oh, wait, someone just pointed out, I think it was Jay Hyde, that it's in the comic books. It's always up to Hawkman. He's the one who always finds Hawkgirl every time they die and
Interesting.
reminds her. It's like his fate to find her
Cool.
and always
Okay.
bring her back.
Interesting.
Oh, got it. Sticking on this point for a second, though, the Malcolm one I totally understood, and I liked that they kind of let the Flash audience in on it by having Barry keep being like, does he always do that? Or Cisco being like, who is that? And Thea being like, that's my dad.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the Damien one, to me, even though I understood what was going on, I didn't find it necessary for this crossover. I felt like they were introducing just an additional character for one scene that didn't need to be there.
It was kind of a meanwhile back at the ranch sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a punchline to a joke.
Exactly. So I don't know how you guys felt about that. Did you enjoy both those characters, either of them?
Well, in retrospect, seeing how you don't see him again for the rest of the episode, yeah, I kind of agree with you. Because when it happened, I kind of thought it was gonna be him working with Vandal. I kind of thought he was
Damien
gonna,
Dark?
I kind of thought it was gonna be a villain mashup, and they're
I
working
would
together.
Watch that TV program.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen. But when he just lost, and now I don't think he's coming back.
And we're probably
for
going to
this
see him on
episode.
the second half of the
Yeah.
crossover.
I mean, I would hope so. If that's the case, then okay. But if not, then yeah, I do think they kind of wasted him.
Yeah, I got that Malcolm was there to keep driving the story farther, just being like, oh, he's magical, he's from the past, like he's looking for this staff, but like the other guy, the blonde Damien, it was distracting because I knew he was a series regular, but I didn't know why I should be paying attention to him in this story they were telling.
Well, and they introduced the staff actually on Arrow when they had the Constantine crossover, because that's what Constantine was looking for in the flashbacks of that episode. So the Arrow audience has a little bit of context for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How it ever got out of Constantine's hands and into a church, we just don't know.
Constantine be hanging out in churches all the time.
Yes, but why would he leave it there unprotected is the
Just,
question.
Yeah,
he has
whatever.
things to do.
I love
Bought
that
liquor,
they-
some cigarettes,
Totes.
When we go to the church and Arrow's like, I haven't been in one of these places in a long time. It's like, I like that. Some good lines from him too tonight.
We mentioned the drink scene earlier, but for me that was we have some big villains to defeat, but let's just have some time to ourselves and have this drink. It felt a little bit out of place, even though I liked it.
I mean, I kind of
disagree.
understood it. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Why?
I think you need that, especially when they're all doing what is essentially an extremely high-stress job. You kind of need that moment to take a breather and relax. And as Felicity pointed out, Oliver was getting into interrogation gear, and they needed a change of setting, a change of pace, get out of your business clothes, etc. Let's talk about this like friends.
I guess for me the danger was too pressing and too present that you can't take a break.
Right. I hear what you're saying, Katie, but I agree with you, Jeff. And especially after earlier on in the episode, which we'll get to what happens with Caitlin and Wells, but Barry being confused on why he's not fast enough and how there's somebody out there zooms out there 4 times faster, and Barry's like, well, I'm off to go see Patty. I'm off drinking here here, like, it's because you're doing other things and you have a social life and you're not just buckling down and getting this done. So I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to do. You should have a life, but then you can't really stop and ask, like, why am I not fast enough, or why aren't we doing well enough? You're drinking with your friends. That's what you do at that age, I guess.
Right. Well, but it's like when Vikings and old soldiers have a drink before they go off to war. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's a way of kind of getting all on the same page, making sure you're caught up, because essentially everyone has their own baggage between the two shows, and so once you're able to air that out, you're like, all right, now we know what our directive is.
I didn't think it was a drink before you go off to war, though. I felt like it was a drink during a battle. Like, mid-battle, hold on, let's take the shot. Okay, now I'm ready. I loved watching it because I love the the social aspect and the interaction of characters, but I don't know if it logistically makes sense.
I kind of agree with Katie, only that with her name's Felicity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I feel like Felicity did that to kind of break the tension. I agree that she was trying to break the tension, but when you have Kendra just walking out and they leave her walk away to de-stress, that's when I'm kind of agreeing with Roxy and Jeff, where it's just like, all right, guys, you're just gonna let her walk away. There's an immortal trying to kill her, and they just let her and Cisco, and she left the building.
I felt like it was super strange how easily they trusted Kendra. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not Hot Girl. I would have been like, who are you? Like, I mean, I get too aggressive in those moments.
No,
but,
I know.
But
You would have been all of them.
Totally. Yeah. But everybody else was like, Oliver, calm down. Nobody else is like, who is this girl? Why are we protecting her? Sorry, Cisco, she's not even your girlfriend. You just kiss her sometimes?
I know.
What?
You don't even have a label yet. We're sacrificing soldiers, and we don't even know who she is.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
I mean, I think it was just the writers being like, we need this to happen fast, so we're gonna make her trustworthy. Everyone knows that she's Hot Girl, so just let her do the thing.
It's almost mid-season, guys.
I feel like we had a little bit of peeking from the other side of the fourth wall from Barry as well. Oh, this guy felt different. Oh, this guy felt mystical. How could you tell?
About Vandal.
Yeah.
He felt different.
He just had to know. So the writers
had that
were like,
magic vibe.
and here's the other side of the fourth wall, and go.
He says right off the bat, he's not a metahuman.
It felt mystical.
How do you know that, Barry?
Barry doesn't have any
Spidey senses.
experience with magic.
It would be different if Cisco had that feeling, like, I got a vibe.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That would have been really smart, actually.
So now apparently Barry vibes.
Yeah, right. Because
well,
that's
but
another.
Cisco didn't touch him.
That's
and
true.
it has to be a contact.
Yeah,
Right.
It's
Maybe
just
one of his knives,
another
though.
example of like when they rush it to like because they have to tell the story within this like hour time frame.
Mm-hmm.
2 hours now, though.
2 hours.
But
You're
we
right.
also
You're right.
had that with some of the editing choices. It felt like a scene would stop right in the middle and we'd go over to someplace else.
Right.
Like a lot of those scenes felt truncated.
Yeah. It's you mentioned Felicity earlier and how like she was funnier in this episode. Is she not that funny in actual Arrow?
Oh no, she actually fits really well in Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She fits well for both.
Because I'm like smitten with her. I want to watch Arrow just for her.
Oh, do it.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And the one moment when she's in Arrow in Oliver's headphones and he's like, "Honey, I can hear you." Like that's very typical Felicity and Oliver these days.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always like that.
Right.
So that's what I was talking about when they're getting a little more campy, a little more fun. Felicity's character has a lot of that fun recently.
Okay. What did everyone think when Hawkman swooped in and grabbed Kendra from the streets?
I got
And
excited.
then there's this asshole.
No, yeah. I got excited because I didn't know he was gonna. I didn't think he was gonna pop up yet.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Yeah,
he was
I
gonna
thought
pop
it
up
was
because
gonna be a
everything was
second episode, too.
everything was just so Hot Girl oriented that when he just swooped in out of nowhere, I was like, oh, all right,
Right.
right to the action.
I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but I was thinking like, I turned to you guys and said, is this Hawkman or is this like Earth 2 Kendra coming in or what's going on? Is this because we didn't see the face for the first swoop, but then it made a lot of sense and I was really happy to see him.
Well, I mean that's a valid with everything that's going on.
I couldn't believe nobody asked or had that thought process. Like Kendra is somebody, they think she's somebody that she's not. This has happened to us 4 times this season already. Like nobody was like, maybe he's looking for Earth 2 Kendra.
That's very true.
So
that's
what I was
really
thinking.
true.
It was a weird.
If you vibed about her and she looks different, everyone's saying she's a hot girl and all that. Why wouldn't you think it's Earth 2? You've been meeting doppelgangers the whole half of the season.
Right.
That's
But
really
Cisco
true.
That's
hasn't
inconvenient.
vibed-
I know.
But Cisco hasn't vibed about anyone's Earth 2 counterpart. If he vibes someone, he vibes them specifically.
Well, he did vibe Earth 2. He vibed Zoom and went to Earth 2 to see what was going on with Will's daughter. But it was still the same Zoom, different Earth.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the
but he
closest we've
vibed an
got.
Earth 2 person to see Earth 2. He's never vibed an Earth Prime person to see an Earth 2 version.
His vibes are changing. They're
Yeah.
still growing. I think it would have at least been a thought. Like well, she says she's not this person.
But like we said, they're not thinking. Kendra's getting fresh air when this guy shouldn't kill her, and they
Too
send
much alcohol.
Cisco with her. Cisco has a passive
I know.
power.
I
He
know.
can't fight.
Right.
Cisco's capable.
Really intense move by her, though. She's like, no, I gotta do this. I gotta jump.
Yeah.
I would have been like, all right, Barry, let me jump as many times. You just stand there. If I'm getting this close, just snatch me
But-
up.
but I think that's what it has
the
to be,
thing.
yeah.
That's what's holding her back, is having that safety net.
100%, but I wouldn't have been willing to let that
Yeah.
go.
And that's why you're not Hawk Girl.
I could be.
Could
Hot
you
Girl.
be?
We wouldn't know.
Please
No.
don't test the
Yeah, I was
theory.
gonna say, let's not find out.
Let's go to the top of this building. Let's make it happen. No.
No.
Are
This is
you gonna
Earth
be?
3.
You're gonna be my Barry Allen.
Nah,
Roxy,
but
don't ruin your shirt.
Thanks, James.
the one
Priorities, right?
another thing I really like about this episode that really stuck out to me, and it's been happening a lot the last couple of episodes. Barry's been getting more and more witty and more trash talky in his suit.
Yeah.
And I like that because that's very flashy, and I like that. 'Cause he's very like he always had dropped an awesome one-liner. Like, do you think we won? All right, sweet. You think that we, after they fought Vandal Savage in the church, it's like we can call that a tie, right? Okay, cool. You know, that's
Yeah,
very. I like that. I like that we're seeing more of his quick wit. He's getting more confident in the suit. I like that. That's something that really stuck out to me in this episode.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like those
Thank you,
moments.
Jeff.
I like them too. I just hope he doesn't turn into too much of a bully. Because I'm seeing it. Everybody makes fun of me for saying
Like
it. But I've seen-
Tomac? Like Tomac? When
Yeah.
Tokamak?
I think he sometimes can turn into a little bit of a bully.
Well, that's kind
Sometimes
of
you gotta
what
bully these
Flash
guys,
is
though.
known for, is having the really fast mouth and the really quick wit.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they're getting there is a little more in line with the comics and then what our generation is familiar with, the Justice League series.
But
Yeah.
I'm okay with them bringing in Wally West and bringing in Jay Garrick and having them be more like that. We've met Barry. I don't want Barry to change. I think he's a sweetheart. I think he's a really good guy. I want him to be like the voice of reason in this all. And then when Oliver comes in and he's like, I'm
He's all
Oliver.
jokey.
Well, yeah, he's trying to show off for all because they have this very like big brother little brother
Your
relationship.
Oh,
city.
yeah.
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 So I mean, you definitely want to kind of like be a little more snide when your sibling is around.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I was very struck too the difference between the Arrow and the other two fighting together as like their little throuple, and then the Flash like being his solo self. Like it was really interesting. He's had like partnerships with Firestorm and different people, but it's only for like an episode at a time.
Yeah.
So like,
true.
I feel like they're eventually heading that way for the Flash to be working together, and I think it's gonna really change like the feeling and the dynamic and energy of the Flash.
Yeah, speaking of partnering up with people, did anybody miss Iris tonight?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize that.
I wrote that
That's
down.
true.
She had
Laurel.
3 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm assuming Laurel will be on the second part of the crossover. I doubt
did
Iris will
name
be
drop
there.
her.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because Iris joined the Scooby Gang. When they found out that Kendra was in danger, they assembled
watch yourself.
everybody, and
Watch
and
yourself.
Iris was there.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah, she went to do reporting and stuff. You know, she has like a life. I
so-
mean,
please.
Oh, sorry. I feel like they were already servicing so many characters in
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
episode that like having her come in for like a line would have been really very much of a bummer and an underutilization.
And she didn't really have anything to contribute to the medical drama that was the Dr. Wells corner of this episode,
Yes.
which I think was actually some of the best parts of the episode,
Yeah.
the best
Yeah.
written.
Like Patty pulling out the
Yes.
Glock. Patty
Patty,
pulling
and
out the
then
gun.
I think it had the best writing and some of the best action is
Yeah.
just that particular part, which is weird because
What do you mean
think
by
I'd be
action?
just the way things played out. It was much tighter. There was a lot less bouncing around. Like, this was one of the best written places. It was best executed, I suppose is a better word.
Yeah.
So I honestly think that was the best part of this episode, was that corner. I know, you'd think I'd be all over the superhero team up, but some of it was just way too corny and way too rushed for me. This was the best, this little corner of humanity, and getting the guy who hates Dr. Wells to save his life.
I'm very interested into Jay Garrick character. I really want him. Like, I want to see more of him.
I want to know what's
I'm mad
wrong
we haven't
with
seen
him.
enough of him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he keeps just disappearing into nowhere, and he doesn't go home, but he stays on Earth 1 just to kind of pout about.
Yeah, I want to see the costume, everything.
Doing?
You know, it's like open night mic at the coffee shop.
That
or
would be
something.
awesome.
It's just
Jitters?
like-
That would be awesome.
yeah, he's just playing a guitar, singing "Smelly Cat."
Yeah, that'd be
I'd
great.
like to imagine he has a blues band.
Yeah, to make
to be fast.
to make the Jay storyline like make sense for me, I really need him to pop back up next time and be like, "Look, I've been doing this research, and this is what I found, and this is how it's gonna help you."
I want to know what his problem is aside from "I hate Wells."
Yeah, there's got to be more.
There has to be something to that because the last little bit of this fell a little flat.
In all fairness, though, he can I hate Wells all he wants, and I'm not taking that medicine or that drug, but he saved Wells' life tonight.
Yeah.
He did. But I still want to know why. Well, you can help Barry by not giving him a drug that we've obviously seen works. Okay, why?
He doesn't
You're a
trust him.
scientist.
I mean,
Can you explain?
I think I'm hopeful that's going to come up. We're going to really see. He must have done something. Harrison did something to Jay to make him not trust him. He's got to. He had to have done something.
Remember, even earlier in the season, we saw Jay and Wells go head to head, where Jay was like, "No, trust me. You can trust Light. What's the woman's name? Light.
Yeah.
Dr. Light.
Dr. Light.
Light.
Thank you, Dr. Light. She won't kill anybody." And Wells is like, "She will," and she did. So even though I have a thing against Wells because of what we saw last season, and I want to trust Jay, I kind of more inclined to trust Wells right now.
Yeah, me
we
too.
have more character development from him.
Right.
Yeah.
Jay has been extremely one note over the season. He's a coward, he lost his speed, he's angry, and he hates Wells. Like, can we get some more actually from him
they're being
and not
ruthless to
Wells
Jay.
telling us he's a coward?
His
Right.
biggest connection that we've seen so far has been with Caitlyn, though. And Caitlyn tonight, not that she threw him under the bus, but she was like, "Take this medicine. Like, take this drug. You're taking this or else."
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
was like, "I don't want to, Caitlyn." And she was like, "Shut up and take it." Like, that's my 5-second recap of what happened.
I think they're agreeing with the fact that they're really being tough on Jay right now in the chat. He's
Kalia
a wuss.
says Jay is being a little bitch.
Yeah,
So.
he needs to get his head out his ass. I mean, I feel you. I mean, I like Jay. I like the costume. I want to see more.
Take the
I
drugs,
want to see
Jay.
that costume. I want to see the helmet more. Wear it. Do something with
I
it.
want more from Jay. I want more development. We've spent a ton of time with Wells.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Jay just keeps disappearing off into the ether somewhere, and we have no idea.
Now, I'm ready to see Killer Frost.
Yeah?
Caitlin's.
That would
I'm
be an
ready to see
interesting
that.
development.
That's not gonna happen for a while.
I know. That just randomly came in my head.
What do we think when Wells actually got shot, though?
I was like, damn, Patty.
Dang.
Surprising.
I was kind of
Patty!
annoyed with Patty. I feel bad saying it. You guys know I'm obsessed with Patty. I love Patty so much. I was like, Patty, trigger finger a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, the gun that she thought he was holding is like silver and metal. I know the
We
guns are
have
metal.
two villains that have a
Silver.
heat gun and a cold gun
Yeah, she's
that are
probably-
both chrome.
And she's looking at him like the master supervillain who killed
And is
Barry's
supposedly
father. Yeah,
dead.
she's,
Right.
so I can see her getting a little trigger happy.
And she does, in all fairness, they say tonight, didn't Joe tell you? She knows nothing. So
Yeah.
if you saw somebody,
Okay.
but there could have been any other thing. Could be a twin, could be whatever. Like, girlfriend, you can't just shoot somebody.
Can't
And
just
she's also
pop.
on the metahuman hunting team, so
Right.
they'd be a lot more up on the trigger just to try and defend themselves because God knows what he could do. Evidently, he's back from the dead.
Yeah.
But like Carlos says in the chat, she shot before asking any questions.
And what do we
Hey,
know,
she's
Katie?
Oliver.
Exactly.
Well, I would say that, like, I mean, she looked legitimately surprised that he was shot. Because, I mean, as far as we know, she knows that he's a speedster, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, she could have assumed that he would have either dodged it or she had to get him before he got her.
That's true.
So-
Yeah, 'cause
Shoot
I
him in
think
the arm then.
And she did tell him, don't move, stay there.
Yeah.
And he didn't listen.
I mean, Barry probably told him told her so much on these dates because she knows who Barry is now. So Barry probably informed her everything that went on.
No, she
doesn't.
She doesn't know Barry is.
She is out of the loop.
No,
Oh,
wait,
she doesn't.
somebody above in the chat, I think it was Darna something, said that she's playing dumb. This could go back to my original theory that she's from Earth 2. Maybe she's aware of this whole situation. Maybe she's pretending like she doesn't know anything. Because if we think about it and we think that this show is eventually going to get Iris and Barry together, that means somehow we're going to have to get her out of the picture. And
That
maybe,
would be
maybe she
crazy.
is a bigger bad than we're giving her credit for. She's cozying up to us, but maybe not.
Do you think
So
that
working
she's great?
under
If-
Zoom or having Zoom on a leash? Which do you think?
Working under Zoom, I think. Oh, but
So
if
you
she
think
has-
she's the dragon
if
instead of
she-
Xanatos?
Maybe if she has Zoom on the leash, though, then we have a whole season 3.
The thing is, though, if she came from Earth 2, then why didn't Wells recognize her?
Because he doesn't know her there.
Yeah,
You
she
guys
doesn't know
both know
everybody.
everyone in the city ever?
But if
Yeah.
she's a
In the
villain, like coming, she knows everything. I feel like she would be in his like periphery.
But if she works in the shadows, I mean, how would you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've no like theories.
How would you know? I don't know.
It's like if Zoom is Darth Vader, everyone knows Darth Vader, he's terrifying. How many people have actually met the Emperor?
right.
Right.
Good comparison.
Not bad. That wasn't too shabby.
Patty, the Emperor.
Yeah. This
Turn
show.
to the dark side.
This show introduced a lot more magical elements than we're used to in The Flash. I really liked it. How did everyone else feel? I would like to see more of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, it didn't jump out to me. It was just because it was very subtle. It wasn't too like magic.
Right.
There were still more arrows. I just saw so many. Because I'm not used to arrows, so I saw so many gosh damn arrows.
I guess I'm envisioning the church scene and like the wand. What is it
Right.
called?
the
staff.
staff Osiris.
I just don't want them to
Horus.
use it as an
Horus.
excuse ever, because it's like with the Lazarus Pit, I feel like we are relying on it too much now. We're sending too many people there. With the magic, it's easy to be like, to negate whatever's happened in the past, to bring back whoever you want. And while that's fun, I want to still believe in things like science and that Oliver can, even though he doesn't have superpowers, that he can be as strong or whatever it is.
Right.
So I like it to a certain extent.
Well, the Lazarus Pit has been removed from play.
Right, but
It was
we
destroyed,
brought
so
back.
it's no longer a revolving door of death.
Yeah, that's just good.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite of you in that, like, I like the mystical portion of it in that when it's a science-based villain or a science-based problem, they can always just be like, well, according to Einstein's theory, this is our solution. Whereas, like, when it's magic, they have
Just
to
like
find
that.
alternative routes and alternative solutions, which I like because it makes them think a little bit more.
Yeah,
Well-
that's what I'm saying. I like them, it being a problem, but I don't like magic always being the solution.
Well, and that's
Okay.
interesting because we've had rumors that Constantine might be in Legends of Tomorrow for season 2, which would
hope so.
definitely shift our magical dynamic.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, real quick, that Firestorm costume, huh? that Firestorm costume looked so nice.
From the
From the
trailer.
trailer.
From the trailer.
Didn't that Firestorm costume, the
It did. It looked
updated
really
costume
good.
looks so good.
Okay, okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It
You're
caught
fine.
my eye.
We're almost out of time. Before we go though, we have to talk about the woman and her baby. For all of the Flash people, tell us why you guys are freaking out, because I know
Okay.
it's a big deal.
Tari.
Okay, so
Take it.
All right, I guess I'll start from the beginning. Before Oliver was on the island, he had impregnated a girl, and his mom didn't want his life to be ruined. So she paid the woman $1 million to basically tell Oliver that the baby had died or was aborted, and to leave town forever. So in the last crossover, we saw her in Cafe Jitters as like either just as Oliver had left, or just kind of in a passing scene. And so in this time,
But Oliver didn't see her.
But Oliver didn't
He
see her
did
at all.
not.
Right.
And she was on her phone talking to, oh, hey, honey, I'll bring you home some chocolate milk. So she's talking to her kid.
Right.
And so.
And that's when we felt like the kid was still alive, because we didn't know whether the kid was alive or dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then.
And then we get them hanging out in Cafe Jitters in another oddly low stakes, high stakes scene where essentially he sees this kid, he gives them a Flash, what is it?
Toy.
No, it was
The
the action
kid runs
figure.
into him and
Dropped
drops
it.
his
Toy.
Yes, he
toy.
dropped the
Kid dropped the
action
toy.
figure. And then he realizes who that kid runs to, and it's that girl who had his baby.
Who
And the
had his
kid's
baby?
about the
Baby.
right age.
And he doesn't think that she had a baby, but she really clearly did. And the kid looked exactly like Oliver and was like, "Thank you, sir." And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm freaking out.
I don't even watch
Yeah.
Arrow, and it got me. When they told me what that was, like, oh, that's well dropped.
He has to go say something. He has to go say hello.
Is that my baby?
We knew that something was going to happen because we had the previously on The Flash and Arrow, and we
yeah.
had the scene with Moira paying off the girl. So it's like,
And we were like,
yeah,
what?
nope, obviously. We haven't seen Moira in a season and a half.
And so
Yeah.
if he does
Spoiler
have a
alert.
son, how does that play into the larger story?
Well,
We
obviously
just
he has-
don't know.
He has more to lose. The more you have, the more you have to lose, the more you have to protect. Right now, he's got Felicity. He's saying he's happy, he's good. This is a whole different dynamic.
Wow.
And he's been lied to.
Wow.
I just don't understand how we can do this going into the second part of the crossover. Like, how's he going to go up to this girl and be like, yo, I haven't seen you in a while. Sorry about what my mom did paying you off. P.S. That kid looks an awful lot like me. Gotta go save the world.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
lot.
expecting
That's a
at
lot.
some point in Arrow for Damian to get a hold of that information and subsequently to get a hold of the child.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're heading towards prediction territory. Before we go, we'll give one quick update that Supergirl crossover, which has been so rumored about. I was reading articles all last week that if Supergirl gets picked up, that it's only because a Flash crossover will happen this season. It was picked up, and our favorite producer, who's the producer?
Berlanti?
Berlanti, thank you, came out and said that there is absolutely no talks whatsoever between networks that Supergirl and Flash will have a crossover.
He's lying.
For season 1.
Every single producer on both shows has said, no, not happening.
Yeah.
No.
And so they haven't said that in a while, but Berlanti came back out and was like, yo, stop it.
Yeah.
Don't believe him.
Berlanti, Johns, all the president over at CBS. It's not even. It's
Yeah.
just, everybody's like. Mm-mm.
But because Supergirl numbers were not doing too well, people were thinking, oh, Flash would really help increase that.
I gotta tell you that I heard this is on the DL, but
It's on the DL and also on air.
Well, I'm not gonna say who told me, but I heard that Supergirl was signed for 2 seasons,
That would be nice.
Yeah.
so so that they're not worrying about their numbers.
Oh, that's nice.
That's good.
Okay, guys.
Give them time to build it up.
Let's do some quick predictions.
Oh, crap.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Katie, you already said that you think the kid will eventually be kidnapped when Damian finds out. Any other things to contribute?
Well, that's more long-term predictions in terms of Arrow. In terms of Flash, I will be very surprised if we don't see Wally before the end of the season. In terms of this crossover, the good thing about having Arrow be the second half is that Arrow is the show where everything goes to hell. So we can have everything go to hell and it'll be great.
Okay.
We had that huge billowing explosion and flames in the preview. I mean, come on. Things are going to go down and I am super excited.
I literally have no idea what to expect, especially because we know that the villain cannot die. You know?
Yeah.
Literally.
So he's not gonna like run away. We can't put him in hiding. We can't probably put him in the prison we built. So who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. What
are you thinking?
Okay.
Sure.
All right. I got the glare. I think. Well, I'm gonna go with. I think the way they're gonna stop Vandal Savage is in the series. They're clearly going through time in the League of
Legend of
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. So the Legends of Tomorrow. So I think they're just gonna go back in time, maybe stop him from being born, or stop him before he gets the ability to become immortal. I think that's gonna be the fail-safe.
Okay.
Now, this just came to me right now, guys. This just came to me right now. I think the serum that they just made right now to make Barry faster is going to be the serum, or some way, some shape or form, going to be help make Wally West into the Flash. That serum's going to give him his Speed Force.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's a good one,
No.
Roxy.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Do you think that Jay
Yeah.
might get his powers back from that serum? That there might be lingering
All
side
three
effects?
of them better be fast by the end of the season. I'm dead serious. They
We
all
better
three
be
of them.
fast. But we better get Wally West at some point this season.
For real.
Yeah.
I'll be upset if he just shows up at the last episode, like, hey guys, my name's Wally. And then everyone's shocked. Then it's
I mean, that would be a good mid-season finale, though, because it just
would.
opens up a door.
yes, mid-season finale, not season finale.
We
Yes,
have how many
mid-season.
episodes till mid-season? 1 or 2?
2, I think.
I don't know. We'll figure out later. Roxy, what
My
do you think?
prediction is that Patty is full-blown evil. She comes from
Dog.
E2, and
No!
we're not going to get it for a while, but I think it's happening. I hate to say it, but I
Those
do.
are strong
You think
words.
she's the
Tauri,
emperor.
we got.
She's the
I
emperor, baby.
That'd be awesome. I think that Hawkman is going to die next episode, and that's going to be the way that they kind of stave off Vandal. He'll essentially absorb whatever power he gets from killing Hawkman, and then he'll disappear into the ether. And that's why only Hawkgirl is in Legends of Tomorrow, because I think that Hawkman will start his own new cycle.
Hawkman's not in Legends of Tomorrow?
I think
Not
he
yet.
thought he
I
was.
think he
I thought he
is.
wasn't.
I thought
I
he
only
was.
heard about Hawkgirl.
I'm pretty sure he is.
This
Okay.
is why
I don't
we
know if
have
he's
Then-
a
Google.
regular or
This-
maybe he's just appearing, so...
This
Right.
is why we have Google.
Meh.
We're gonna Google after the show, guys. This was so much fun. Where can everybody find you, Katie? I know you'll be in the after show tomorrow for Arrow.
I will. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at KiaXet. That's KIAXET. You can also find me on Snapchat at Kia Prime. We're doing a 3-fer for after shows tomorrow. We're moving the Blind Spot mid-season finale to 7. We have Star Wars at 8, and then Arrow we're filming at 10. Second half of this, and Z Nation on Sunday.
Busy day.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Tari will be on the after show as well. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at TauriJ. It's Taurijay.
You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Micheal_Drew, Michael EAL.
And I'm on Twitter, Jeff Masters 1, and everywhere else. Guys, we'll see you next week. Good night.
One. From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.